Here is a question biology has not fully answered yet. What if you did not have to die? What if, at the exact moment your body began to fail, when the cells stopped repairing themselves, when everything started its final accounting, you could simply press rewind, go back to the beginning and start again? Not your children carrying something of you forward, nor a legacy. Every biologist who has studied Turritopsis dohrnii, a jellyfish roughly the size of a human fingernail, I will tell you this is not a metaphor. It is a literal description of what this animal does, and we have no idea how to do what it does. Turritopsis dohrnii is a hydrozoan. It cycles, like most of its kind, between two forms: a polyp, small, sessile, unremarkable, and a medusa, the adult jellyfish form most people recognize. Every other hydrozoan moves through these forms in one direction: larva to adult, birth toward death, the standard arrangement that every multicellular organism on Earth has followed for 600 million years. Turritopsis dohrnii goes the other way. When it is starving, physically damaged, or has reached sexual maturity and completed its reproductive purpose, it reverts. The adult collapses back into a polyp. The biological clock does not stop. It runs backwards. The old animal becomes, in every measurable cellular sense, young again. This process has a name: transdifferentiation. In the entire catalogue of living things on this planet, only Turritopsis dohrnii appears to do it to its whole body, voluntarily, repeatedly, with no apparent upper limit. The immortal jellyfish does not cheat death. It reverses the process that leads to it. To understand what transdifferentiation means, you need to understand what it is reversing. Every multicellular organism begins as a single fertilized cell. As it divides, cells specialize. A neuron cannot decide to become a muscle cell. A skin cell is not going to pivot to the liver halfway through. This specialization, differentiation, is the fundamental mechanism of biological development. It is how a single cell becomes a trillion-celled organism. And in almost every animal that has ever lived, it is a one-way street. Turritopsis dohrnii drives the wrong way down that street. Under stress, its specialized adult cells revert to an unspecialized stem cell-like state. Not some of them, all of them. The organism de-differentiates, reorganizes, and rebuilds itself from scratch. A muscle cell becomes something that can become anything. The animal starts over. The Italian scientist Christian Sommer discovered this accidentally in 1988 while studying hydrozoans in the Mediterranean. Specimens he expected to die were instead shrinking, sinking to the bottom of their tanks, and transforming back into polyps. He was a graduate student. He published a brief paper. It was largely ignored. It was not until 1996 that researchers confirmed the process was real, repeatable, and theoretically unlimited. A single individual, in controlled conditions, could cycle indefinitely. The scientific paper was careful with its language, as scientific papers are. The implication underneath was not: this animal may have no fixed lifespan. The world's media eventually called it the immortal jellyfish. The scientists did not correct them. The immortal jellyfish is not, in practice, immortal. It can be eaten. It can be killed by disease, by pollution, by the ordinary violence of the ocean. Its immortality is conditional. The biology works perfectly, but the world does not always cooperate, which, if you think about it, is a predicament most people will recognize. But here is what does not leave you. Turritopsis dohrnii originated in the Pacific. It has now been found in the Mediterranean, the Atlantic, the Caribbean, the coast of Japan, Panama, and Spain. It travels in the ballast water of ships, taken on in one port, discharged in another, carrying with it whatever organisms happen to be present. The Immortal Jellyfish has been accidentally distributed across the global ocean by human shipping infrastructure. It is now everywhere. A species with no fixed lifespan and an expanding global range, most of whose living specimens have never been studied. There are individuals in the ocean right now that may have been alive since before you were born. Some possibly since before your grandparents were born. We have no way of knowing. We have not been watching long enough. The reason Turritopsis dohrnii matters beyond its own existence is what it implies about aging. The dominant model treats aging as accumulated damage, errors in DNA replication, shortening telomeres, and declining cellular repair. On this model, aging is not programmed, it is entropy. What happens when maintenance falls behind in damage? What Turritopsis dohrnii suggests is that this relationship is not fixed. That somewhere in the genetic machinery of at least one animal is a mechanism capable of reversing differentiation entirely, not repairing damaged cells, but rebuilding the organism from scratch so there are no damaged cells to repair. The distinction matters enormously. Researchers studying the jellyfish's genome have identified genes associated with DNA repair, cell cycle regulation, and stem cell maintenance that activate during the reversal. Some have direct human analogues. We carry versions of the same machinery. We do not appear to be using it the same way. Whether that means the mechanism is transferable is a question no one will answer yet. The honest position from researchers closest to the work is, we cannot say it is impossible. In the language of science, that is worth sitting with. Here is the version of this story that is hardest to shake. You have at some point watched someone get old. Watched the process happen to someone you knew when they were not old, and understood, not abstractly, but physically, in the specific weight of the observation, that it was irreversible, that the direction of travel was fixed, that there was no mechanism for going back. The jellyfish does not have that problem. It does not have the awareness of the problem either, which is arguably the better deal. It has no brain, only a diffuse nerve net, no center, no self in any sense we would recognize. It does not know it is doing something extraordinary. It does not know what a human being is, or that human beings have spent considerable effort building religions around the terror of exactly the thing it solved without trying. It is just doing what it does. In the dark, in the cold, beginning again, because that is what beginning again looks like when biology finds a way. We are the species that named it, studied it, and mapped its genome, wrote papers about it, and still grow old. Turritopsis dohrnii is smaller than your fingernail. No brain, no heart. It experiences the world, if experience is even the right word, as chemistry, pressure, light, hunger, and damage. And it has solved the problem every human civilization in history has treated as unsolvable. We know what the process is called. We know roughly when it activates. We have identified the genes. We just do not know why we cannot do it, or whether that will always be true. The jellyfish is not waiting for us to figure it out. It has already started over. Somewhere in an ocean we have not fully explored, in a body that may be older than anyone currently alive, doing what it has always done.